Hello YouTube, hopefully this is still working. I haven't recorded a video in a while, so figured I would make one. It's been a long time actually, since I made a video last time, but hopefully I still have like my thumb dexterity in order here on my controller. But let's see how well I can play. Difficulty 12. First I want to read the situation. When I hit the ground, I want to make sure that the area is free of patrols. And I want to play this as efficiently and effectively as I possibly can. So
Equipment on its way.
that is my play style. With that said, I don't see any patrols near us, so I'm going to call out my Commando. I'm going to be wary of the Vanguard patrols jumping in front of me. I'm going to follow this other player around since they're hosting. Hopefully we take it nice and easy. It looks like we're going to the geological survey first. It is closest. And so with that I just need to be aware again of patrols. And I do have 2 static fields to call in on top of the geological survey in the event that I need to make sure that it's protected. Keep everything nice and slow around the structure. In fact, I'll just do that now.
Defense drop incoming.
And I always want to keep the objective moving. Make sure those patrols die. And if a patrol does sound off, I will throw a static field on top of the alarm so that anything that spawns in will be slowed immediately. Try to do the arrow sequence as fast as you can, but also without making errors. It's important to get it right the first time rather than just trying to rush through it, because you end up spending more time trying to do the arrow sequence if you fail the first time or the second time even. I'm assuming we're going to do the survivors next. So this player has the cardio perk, so I'm not going to be able to keep up with them, but it won't be too bad. We can't move that fast anyway with the survivors.
No clear path. Affirmative.
Helldiver deploying to combat
Always
zone.
move your Helldiver and look at your Helldiver when someone joins the game so that you can dodge them if they land on your head like they just did to those 2 survivors. Because the game will try to land them on top of you. It is notorious for doing that. I'm going to stay behind the survivors just to make sure they stay on screen and to also protect the back. I feel comfortable doing this with the Defender. It is my go-to weapon when it comes to high-level bug play, just for my play style. Killing patrols is very easy, so the Defender can do it as well. It keeps you mobile, keeps you with high ammunition. And many of the bugs have such high armor they end up using anti-tank anyway. So it is a gun for me that I enjoy using. We're going to hopefully not go through the minefield, but... Okay. So he decided to go around. Good idea. Stay behind here. Just keep an eye out for patrols. Try not to pull the camera too much, but I do get fidgety where I feel like something's going to jump out at me. I like to aim a little bit, briefly.
Engage.
So it looks like we're going to drop off the survivors fine, so we're fortunate here. I'll pick up the ammo box if no one else does. Soma shouldn't have to, but Black Smoke could have. I also don't recommend the machine gun against the bugs because of their high armor and the emphasis on shooting at a unit at a right angle. So you want to shoot as close to a right angle as possible, and the very nature of the machine gun does not allow you to do that because it's so wild. I'm going to keep the objective moving. Help out my partner there. Keep an eye on where we're going next. Just keep it all moving. I have 15 magazines. The Defender is known for having high ammunition, so I love it. Got their patrols in time. Keep the objective moving. Oh, I'm going to stop here to kill the patrol. Okay. Now we have the... Well, I'm going to follow Soma, but presumably I thought we were going to go to activate and defend the launch pad, but... I think we're going to go to the furthest objective first, I guess. Patrol goes off, so I'm going to call in a static field real quick.
Defensive stratagem incoming.
Okay, so we are going to the launch pad. So there is an alarming effect, so it kind of makes me a little nervous about the launch pad, but we will defend it the best we can, I guess, from the bottom left corner of the screen. My other static field should be off cooldown shortly. Another alarm went off. So the rest of the team should have known that there were units coming from the bottom left, being that we just came from that direction. So hopefully I'll get some help here. I'm going to call another static field because I think that one's going to run out soon. I will need help fighting these units. So I'm glad the rest of the team's participating. I'm going to have to use my commando here. I have to reload my commando, so I do hear what sounds like a tank bug or a Behemoth. And I failed that. I don't know what I could have done differently there. I think we were lacking reaction, and we were lacking anti-tank. I felt like I was the only one with anti-tank in that situation. So that was unfortunate. I'm going to reload my commando over top of killing the patrols in time, because it seems we are limited on anti-tank. Remember, on difficulty 12 bugs, you're facing high armor, very large units, so to not bring anti-tank to the game, to the match, is a very large mistake. So it looks like that player also brought a commando. And it looks like we should be going down to do the artillery rather than dropping off the black box, so we'll just bring it with us down to the artillery for time efficiency. I'm still thinking about that launch pad. I had my static fields in place. I just wish I had maybe a little bit more help from my team. I'm not really sure what else I could have done there to save the launch pad. Keep the objective moving. Always keep the objective moving. Black Smoke could be bringing over the artillery shell right now, but they're choosing to bring out the radio and call in an obsidian.
Equipment on its way.
An alarm went off above me. That artillery shell still was not brought over yet. The obsidian cannot shoot a Behemoth. It's not anti-tank. You can tell by the blue sparks that are going off that the rounds are not penetrating the armor. Oh, Got shot in the face there. There's an impaler up here now. I think I got it. Hopefully we keep moving. Now that we have the obsidian mech out, we're going to be very slow moving. The obsidian doesn't move very fast.
Let's move!
And I think in the higher difficulty bugs you really need mobility.
Reloading!
Higher difficulty anything, I guess you need mobility. But also keep in mind that vehicles and suits, mech suits, say if they're seen by the enemy, it calls for an alarm can go off, I should say, by patrols just by seeing it. So it's just it's kind of balanced in that sense. It's slower moving, very slow turn speed, and once patrols see it, they sound an alarm, even if you're not in it.
Reloading! Move!
So we're kind of hung up here by the obsidian. Okay, and now we have to go to extraction, which is top right. I'm at the edge of the screen, so I need to be very aware of what enemies spawn in. Be mindful of patrols. I have to be very careful. Okay.
Reloading.
Just got to be aware of the patrols at the edge of the screen that spawn in. Remember, red dots on the radar does not mean that the units are spawned in. It just means it's a potential spawning point for the units.
How did I detect your freedom? Reloading!
So when we get to extraction, I'm going to get to that panel as fast as I can. And if there are patrols in the area, I'll try to kill them in time. And then afterward, I want to call in some ammo, in case anyone needs it. And then now we need to be aware of patrols. Okay. So a patrol was sounded, unfortunately. Hopefully this guy reloads me. I guess he's not going to reload me, so I'm just going to reload myself. I'm going to wait until everyone can get on the shuttle. Looks like we can all get on, so I'll get on. And that will end that mission. So, things I could have done better. I think I was responsible for a couple alarms there. A little disappointed about the launch pad. I keep playing that over and over in my head, but I'm just not sure what else I could have done to prevent that from blowing up. It's a team game, so really, like, all the responsibility of the launch pad can't fall on me, but I always think of ways where I could have prevented it from blowing up, even though I had two partners with me. So a little disappointed in that. The spawns were just against me, and I had to reload my commando, and I just couldn't hold them all off. I used, I think, both my static fields, and and it was a Behemoth that actually ended up spawning and getting to the launch pad. And at the time, I don't think we had enough anti-tank, I should say. My Commando is used up, so if someone else had anti-tank at the time, like a Demolisher, if they called in a Demolisher, I know they had the stratagem, but if they had it in their possession or called it in, then maybe we could have prevented the launch pad from blowing up. I think the artillery was a little, inefficient. We were a little inefficient with the artillery. One of the players had their radio out instead of just getting the artillery shell. So it's little things like that where it just takes more time to do, and then you end up setting off more alarms, and then alarms lead to deaths because you're fighting and using ammunition. And let's do one more mission here. I think I have time for one more. Have to get to bed at a decent time. Got work tomorrow.
Sir.
But I will stick around for one more. This player is not doing any type of sample hunting, so it benefits me. I get to play the game more. Less running from point to point.
Outboard launch sequence initiated. Crew to stations. I repeat, crew to stations.
So let's read what we have. So we're doing difficulty 13. We have 2 defenses. We have an escort. So with the 2... Okay. So with the 2 defenses, I think instead of static field, I think I'm going to do anti-tank mines. I'm going to change it to the night for a little bit more damage. But actually maybe that's not wise either. With the higher difficulty and the more units with higher armor, I'm thinking I should have something else. Paragon. I'm going to run out of ammunition fast with the Paragon though. So... maybe I can't do that. I would have to have 2 ammunitions, and then I would do 1 mines. I have a Commando already for anti-tank, but the mines would be an added benefit of both anti-tank and defense. Just general defense. I didn't get to look at the other stratagems while I was thinking of my own. I didn't see many green icons, so I don't know how much defense we brought, considering the objectives that we have. But we'll see. I think the Paragon pick makes sense in my head. I get the bayonet. I get to slow them down, not necessarily kill them, because you have so many high armored units. You just want to slow them down. You can't kill them all. So the Paragon kind of replaces my static field stratagem with the poison slow.
Supplies incoming. Dropping equipment. Supplies incoming. Equipment on its way. Supplies incoming.
I don't like vehicles, but I'll try it. The vehicle's awkward because of the escort with the survivors. Also, you're kind of relying on the driver. And also because if you get out, you might die if the vehicle moves even a few pixels, so you gotta be careful. So it looks like we are doing the escort. We're not moving with the survivors, so that's a problem. We have to be quick. Gotta be quick. Looks like we ran over one of the survivors.
Dropping equipment.
We ran over another survivor. Looks like we're having difficulty just moving. I'm hesitant in even starting this, but I guess
Equipment on its way.
he wanted to start it.
Request confirmed.
Hopefully we have someone else that has anti-tank that can shoot them. Okay. So I was hesitant in even starting that because we already had an alarm started. So with the alarm that was already sent in the air and alarming everyone, it didn't make sense in my head to start the launch pad. We also just wasted a turret there, in my opinion. We called in a turret of an advancing army that we're just running away from. Like, we're not defending anything in that area, so that the turret doesn't make sense. Makes sense for me there. We could have saved it for the next launch pad. Even still, like, the turret isn't good because of the shielded patrols. So that would not be a stratagem that I would bring. Get the shell here. Participate in the objective. So already we're kind of in trouble here. That one patrol called in all those units.
Request confirmed. Request confirmed. Stand by. Equipment on its way.
I'm trying to reload this guy if he just takes out his commando, but he's not taking out his commando. I'm not even sure if he has... I don't even know if he has his support... He doesn't have his support kit.
Defensive equipment inbound.
Reloading!
I'm not sure what it is that we're doing now.
Go, go, go! Reloading! Grenade! Out of ammo!
I do have to call in ammunition soon. I called in ammunition at the launch pad. I don't even know if I ever got ammunition from that.
Dropping equipment. Equipment on its way.
I'm going to reload and then take the other ammo box because it looks like we have to be on the move again.
Request confirmed. Request acknowledged. Request confirmed.
Disabled that one tank with my commando there. I think blowing it up was a mistake. If we left it disabled, another one wouldn't necessarily spawn. And also I think it was a waste of a demolisher in general. That one demolisher could have been used for another tank, for example. One that was mobile and not disabled in any way. So, looks like we're going to try our hand at defending a launch pad again. I think Black Smoke took the heavy armor perk, which is making him slow. Okay, so we made it to another launch pad. I'm going to call in some mines here.
Defense drop incoming. Defensive equipment inbound. Defensive stratagem incoming.
The turret does make sense with this particular objective, but like I said before, against a patrol with shields, I don't really know if it's going to work out. I was able to kill the tank, but I don't think we have enough anti-tank to hold this back. No, we don't. So it seems we're pretty ill-equipped for this difficulty. I don't think we prepared right at all for this. This is kind of disappointing. Pretty unhappy with this. I need a reload. But this other guy with the Commando doesn't even have a support kit, so he can't reload me. Like, I really wish he got his support kit. It's right here, actually. I'm really surprised, like... No, okay. So, well, he just actually swapped it. Now he can actually reload me, and I can reload him. Look at that. We could have done that in the beginning of the game. The whole time in the beginning of the game, we could have done that.
Dropping equipment inbound. ETA minus 1 minute 30 seconds.
Have to dive in the ground, so I'm on fire. I'm gonna reload immediately, try to get more missiles in my Commando here. Pick this guy up. Gotta get my mines out.
On its way. Defense drop incoming.
Helium scumbag! Reloading!
ETA T-minus 3 seconds.
Reloading!
T-minus 15 seconds. Defensive stratagem incoming. T-minus 10 seconds.
Trying to be mindful of how many rockets the player has left before I reload them to get maximum value out of the rocket.
Request confirmed. Alright, down there. Deploying ordnance.
Okay. And then we all got on. So that nuke also suggests that we're ill-equipped for the objectives that we had in this mission with the difficulty that we had. So someone brought a nuke specifically to use it for when we're already overwhelmed, or just to hold on to it for the end of the game, which, I mean, to get only 2 uses out of that, I question the value of bringing a shredder missile. It just doesn't make sense to me. In my opinion, you're going to use it when you're already overwhelmed. You can't really use it defensively, and you're going to use it for like when the game's over. So that doesn't really make much sense. It's not very efficient, so it's not something that I would do. So keep that in mind. Like, if you're trying to play this game efficiently and you always want to be effective and you want to do the best you can in every game you play and you know, complete it, I would be a little bit hesitant in bringing a shredder missile for the most part. I just don't. That stratagem is just something I just never use. There's other ways to blow up structures or bug nests, and the shredder missile really isn't something that I lean toward. But I don't think we had the right stratagems in that difficulty. I think even my stratagems are a little weak, maybe. Paragon maybe wasn't the best choice, although when I thought it through, I thought it was at the time. Maybe instead I should have gone more mobile, like one-handed weapon, like the knight that I had initially. And then instead of an ammunition stratagem, I would have brought my like static field or something. But all right, I'm going to try to review this video and then make sure it has some value before uploading it. But if I do upload it, then I think it has value. Hopefully, if anyone ever does watch this video, that they learned a little something. But I'll try to make another video maybe tomorrow. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.